Hi, welcome to Retiring Well. Listen, folks, we got a great show for you today because we're going to be talking about Medicare supplemental insurance. And I've got a guest with me that's going to join us who's is qualified to talk about this subject. So stay tuned.
Retiring Well, brought to you by Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial advisors specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan. Retiring Well, helping you plan for a successful and comfortable retirement. Retiring Well, plan to retire well.
Hi, welcome. Listen, folks, today I am excited because I have a guest with me named Dawn McConnell. And Dawn, you're actually licensed to speak about the subject we're talking about today, right?
Yeah, that's right, Larry. I have my license for the state of Michigan for health insurance, either over 65 or under 65. So, yep, I'm licensed to talk about this here today.
Okay. And I have to throw a disclaimer out there. Centennial Wealth Advisory, as a firm, we're not licensed in this area, but that's why we have you on our staff, John.
That's right. Yeah,
All right.
it seems to be a good fit into the retirement planning.
Yeah. So I understand that right now we're in in this enrollment period. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, every year there's the annual enrollment period, and it rolls from October 15th through December 7th every year. And that's the time that you can enroll into new plans. So right now we're looking at the 2021 plans, and it's also the time that you disenroll from your previous plan. So it's a big deal, and you usually see the TV commercials flooded with ads around this time.
Yeah, mail in ads, right? I mean, this is the
Yeah,
time.
it
Yeah.
is the time for
Yeah.
sure.
So when somebody reaches the age of 65, they qualify for Medicare. And then with Medicare, there's this Part A and Part B. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the enrollment time for somebody turning age 65, you're able to enroll 3 months prior to your birthday, the 3 months up to your birthday, the month of your birthday, and the 3 months after. We typically really urge people to go to enroll as early as possible. And when you enroll into Original Medicare, and that's Part A and Part B. The Part A of Medicare really encompasses everything that happens as an inpatient in the hospital. So that's everything from your hospital room stay to your doctors to prescriptions, but you have to be an inpatient. Um, Medicare Part B is everything that happens outside of that. So it's everything as an outpatient, your doctors, your procedures, your tests, everything like that. One thing that I learned recently, my mom had an outpatient surgery for a hernia and appendicitis, had to have that out at age 75. Even though she had the surgery at the hospital, it was considered outpatient. So that all fell under Medicare Part B.
Okay.
So
Basically, the procedure was a Part B procedure, right?
that's right. Yep. Even though it happened in the hospital, it's an outpatient procedure.
All
So
right. So
yeah.
everybody's got this Part A, they got Part B, inpatient, outpatient. So, but there's gaps, right? I understand there's gaps in the coverage.
Absolutely. And yeah, Original Medicare, I think very much like we talk about Social Security sometimes, it was never supposed to be Social Security was never supposed to be your all-encompassing retirement plan. And Original Medicare was never supposed to be your all-encompassing health insurance plan. So there are some major gaps that we need to look at. For instance, on the Medicare Part A side, um, there's there's no premium. You've paid the premium over the years you've worked, but there is a per benefit period deductible. And for 2020, that per benefit period deductible was $1,400. So, and that benefit period it's a little sketchy, but it runs somewhere around 60 days, and it's depending on your admitted time and your discharge time. But you could actually pay that $1,400 deductible multiple times in a year. So that's a big gap in the coverage there. And then Original Medicare covers a specific amount of hospital day stays, but once you get outside of their coverage, you're looking at a $352 per day hospital fee when you exceed that charge. So that's the huge gap in coverage as well. On the Medicare Part B, the outpatient side, everybody has a monthly premium. It's based on your income. Most people pay about $144 per month for the premium of Medicare Part B. And there is a Medicare Part B deductible. It truly is a yearly deductible. And for 2020, it was $198 for the year. Once you hit that $198 deductible, it falls into an 80-20 plan where Medicare pays 80% of your Part B bills and you're responsible for 20. That sounds a lot like what we're used to with the under 65 insurance, but the problem is with, for instance, my insurance, there's a maximum out of pocket. So once I hit a certain period, my insurance company comes in and pays it. With original Medicare, there is no cap. So as long as your medical bills keep coming in, you're responsible for 20%. And for instance, with my mom, with that outpatient surgery, her bill was well above $30,000 for that one procedure. And she would have, if she didn't have any other coverage, she would have been responsible for 20% of that.
Wow,
So
Dawn, so say the least, that's not an expense somebody wants to have happen if they have any kind of major issues, right?
That's right. Yeah. And your health is so unexpected. You never really know what's gonna be coming up. So yeah.
All right. So there's this gap that we want to cover or take care of, which is, now getting into the Medicare supplemental insurance, right?
Right. Yeah. There's different ways to cover those gaps. And then there's supplemental plans that you can use to cover those gaps. And there's what's called the Advantage plan. And that's where it's important to sit down and have a conversation to decide which type of route we want to do to cover those plans.
Well, hold that thought because we're going to break. And when we come back, I want to talk about those two different routes that they can go. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right. So folks, stay tuned.
If you're retired or soon to be retired, let us help you plan to retire well. Centennial Wealth Advisory specializes in retirement planning and has offices in Traverse City, Cadillac, Petoskey, and Gaylord. We'll never pressure anyone to become a client. Our goal is to inform and educate. Simply schedule a meeting at one of our Northern Michigan office locations for a free, no obligation retirement review.
Professional golfers have a game plan. Knowing where to attack the golf course is vital, and avoiding the hazards is key. As you can see, we aren't professional golfers. But at Northern Michigan's Centennial Wealth Advisory, we are professional financial advisors. And just like a good golfer, we have a game plan, a holistic approach for your financial future, using income planning, tax planning, estate planning, wealth management, and healthcare planning to help you plan to retire well. We have lived in Northern Michigan all our lives, and we have offices in Traverse City, Gaylord, Petoskey, and Cadillac. Give Centennial Wealth Advisory a call or visit us at cen-wealth.com and let us help you plan to retire well.
Hi, my name is Larry Flynn. I'm a financial advisor, senior partner here at Centennial Wealth Advisory. Listen, with this coronavirus, it created unprecedented times. High unemployment, you got a lot of businesses not reopening. Whether there comes a treatment or a vaccine for this disease, we don't know. There's just a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty. But your financial well-being is still very important. And if you're in retirement or near retirement, then getting some good, sound financial advice is going to be critical. So in these unprecedented times, we're understanding that safety is a concern, and so we're offering a couple options. If you're willing to talk by phone or want to do a virtual meeting, whether that be Zoom or something like that, we're offering that ability to do that. If you're somebody that does want to meet in person, we're trying to accommodate that as well. We're saying, we're not going to have any two clients meet at once. We're sanitizing it before and after you're here, and we're keeping the proper social distancing in place while we meet. So if these are a couple options you might want to pursue, we encourage you to just give us a call on the number that's on the screen or visit our website at sen-wealth.com and just basically you can set up a meeting there. Stay safe. If you have some financial concerns and need to address those, then certainly give us a call.
Hi, welcome back. Again, I'm being joined today by Dawn McConnell, who's licensed to speak about Medicare supplemental insurance plans. So Dawn, we were talking in the first segment about how there's these two different routes people can go. So let's talk about that first one you talked about, what they call the Advantage Plan route.
Yeah, the Medicare Advantage Plan, and that's what people are hearing a lot about right now because this is the open enrollment period for the Medicare Advantage plans and the drug plans. A Medicare Advantage plan, it's offered by private insurance companies. It typically includes all the benefits that original Medicare Part A and Part B hold. And it oftentimes will bring in a drug plan. Sometimes it'll bring in a dental, vision, gym membership plan into these Medicare Advantage plans. They're very nice. It's a nice packaged, kind of all-encompassing healthcare plan. I can't get into the specifics of them because each plan is wildly different from another plan, and depending on your needs and your lifestyle, each plan is going to vary quite differently.
Hey,
But I
Dawn,
would say, yeah.
and let me just add some to that. You know, that kind of reminds me of like back when I used to have to shop my health insurance, right? I mean, having to dig into all the details as far as deductibles and everything else because not one plan was similar to another plan. That's kind of the kind of a con with these Advantage plans, right?
Yes, there's pros and there's cons with both the Advantage plan side and the supplemental plan side. The cons of the Advantage plan side is exactly what you're saying there, Larry. Every plan is different. Another big con of the Advantage plans is it's because of the private insurance company ownership of it, you have to make sure you stay in network. If you get out of network, your out-of-pocket pay can double. So sometimes these are difficult to travel with. If you're a snowbird and you go to Florida every year, you kind of have to do your homework ahead of time to make sure you're finding a doctor in a hospital that's an in-network doctor or hospital as you travel. So there's some cons to that. The pros of a Medicare Advantage plan is that they're typically very low premium. The monthly premium on these Advantage plans are relatively pretty low, and it includes the drug plan and sometimes dental, vision, gym membership. However, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you have a $0 premium, you have to remember that anytime you have to use this insurance, you have to go to the doctor or hospital, there's going to be co-insurances, there's going to be co-pays. So I like to call these Medicare Advantage plans a pay later plan. You're paying very little up front, but anytime you need to use that insurance in the future, you're going to be paying for it. And the max out of pocket on these plans can be anywhere, I won't get specific, but they can get costly at times. So
now, Dawn, we're going to talk about the other route they can go, which is, I guess, the Medigap plans.
yeah.
But there's also one other disadvantage is they're not with the Advantage plans, and that is if they choose in the enrollment period initially to go that route and then later have some health issues, does that kind of shut them out possibly out of the other route plans, the Medigap plans?
It does. With the Medicare Advantage plans, you don't have to pass any medical underwriting. The only medical condition they care about on the Medicare Advantage plan side is end-stage renal disease. Outside of that, they're not asking any medical questions because honestly, you're paying out of pocket. So the risk on the insurance company is somewhat low. So they don't have to charge much of a premium. They don't have to do the healthcare questions.
Mm-hmm.
On the Medigap side, you do have to answer some health questions because they're covering a lot more. There's more risk for the insurance company on the Medigap side. So yeah, if you were sitting in the Advantage plan side and then decided, boy, it's starting to cost me more money, my health has started to fail, unfortunately, you're probably going to be stuck into that Advantage plan.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that other route, the Medigap route. Talk to me about some of the, the pros and cons of going that direction.
Yeah, the Medigap route, it's also called Medicare supplements. I call these a pay now plan. The disadvantages, they're typically a little bit more expensive, where sometimes with the Advantage plan, you can have a $0 premium. On the supplemental or the Medigap side, you're going to probably be paying over $100 per month. But the benefit is it covers almost all of those gaps, depending on which plan you choose. The plans for the Medigap, they come in letter form as well, just to confuse you even more. You have Medicare Part A and Part B, and then you have Plan A and Plan B and Plan G. So they obviously they make it so much harder than they needed to. But
Sure.
if we look at a Plan G, for instance, a Plan G, all of those gaps that we talked about previously, it covers all of them. So you're paying $110 per month for a Plan G, and you get admitted into the hospital, your hospital bill will literally be $0 when you come out. And on the Medicare Part B side, you still have to pay the $198 deductible. You still have to pay the premium, but the Plan G takes care of your 20% responsibility in the 80/20 plan. So after you hit that $198 deductible, any doctor you see, procedure, test you have to do that would fall under Medicare Part B, you're not having to pay for it. So there's a huge advantage with the Medigap plans or the supplement plans. Yes, you're paying a little bit more up front, but if you run into some medical situations, you're not paying any more out of pocket, which is really nice and a really nice peace of mind plan.
Right. And if you start off with that plan, like in the initial enrollment period, they can't forever boot you out, right?
That's right. If you're in it, you're in it. They can raise your premiums, but they cannot boot you out of the plan. So and they're not going to raise your premiums based on your health. They'll raise it based on your age.
Right.
So it's, once you're in the plan, you're in the plan. And that is a really nice peace of mind as well. So.
And then one of the pros is my understanding, and you mentioned this Plan G. Plan G coverage with one insurance company is no different than another, right? Now we're at a place where they're all the same.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the Medicare supplements are federally mandated plans. So it doesn't matter if company A has a Plan G and company B has a Plan G, the benefits are identical. And when you use that card at the doctor's office, they're not looking at the company name on that card. What they're looking for is Plan G. And if it's Plan G, it's Medicare approved and it's accepted. So it doesn't matter if you're handing in that card in Michigan, California, Florida, Arizona. It is a federally mandated plan. It is accepted everywhere. So there is no in-network, out-of-network deal to work with when you're dealing with the Medicare supplements.
Yeah. So if I'm somebody that's planning on doing a lot of traveling, that might be more appropriate, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's way more user friendly for the traveler for sure.
Okay. Now, one of the cons to the Medigap plan is that when we talked about the Advantage plans, they got everything all in one. Now, though, not everything's all in one, though, right? They have to go out for their prescription, eye, dental, that kind of stuff, right, as separate policies.
That's right. Yeah, I look at the Advantage plans almost as a combo meal, and the supplemental side as an a la carte. And so
Gotcha.
you do have to add the prescription plan. If you want dental or vision, you have to add those. I think the thing that shocks a lot of people, though, is, they go for these Advantage plan because it has the drug plan wrapped in it. Well, most drug plans, if you're on only a few prescriptions, you can get drug plans for very inexpensive, $15 a month, $20 a month. So it's not this, I don't know, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think, when you're looking at adding on the a la carte.
Right,
So.
right. Yeah, I never found it that hard when I had my normal health insurance and I wanted to add eye or dental. It's just different insurance company, right? I mean, it's not that
That's
tough.
right.
Right.
Yeah, with the Advantage plan, you're carrying one insurance card. If you have the supplemental plans, you might be carrying 2, 3, 4 insurance cards, depending on what you add to your coverage.
Yeah, I liked what you said, Dawn, like, that alphabet of plans that people have the ability to pick.
Yeah.
What's nice about that too is they've got the ability to, depending on, where they feel like they're at with their health or whether they're going to do a lot of traveling or not, they can basically pick a plan that they feel that's more appropriate for them, right?
That's right. Yeah, and there's pros and cons for everybody depending on your lifestyle and your health history and things like that. Even personality type, I think, plays a big piece of what plan you decide to go with.
Sure.
But yeah, there's
Sure.
a lot of options out there, and that's, I think, where it's really important to sit down with somebody who is an expert in this field and discuss your lifestyle, your plans, your personality type, and pick a plan that's really appropriate for you.
All right. Well, Dawn, I think this would be a great place for us to break. And I want you to hold that thought because in the next segment, that's what I want to talk about is, why is it, advisable for people to have an advisor as they're looking at this? I mean, they're getting inundated with mail, right? In some cases, they're not supposed to, but these insurance companies, these people are knocking on people's doors, right? In the
Yep.
year they're turning age 65. But why do they want an advisor involved in helping them make this decision? That's what I want to talk about next. So folks, stay tuned.
We here at Centennial Wealth Advisory realize that everyone has been affected by this coronavirus in one way or another. We watch our retirement accounts drop significantly in value, and we have questions. Can I retire in a recession? How will the coronavirus affect my retirement? How do I develop an income stream in a recession? Can I still retire this year? If these are concerns of yours, contact us today for a free initial consultation and learn what you can do now to help you weather the storm. Simply call 888-608-5825 or visit sunwealth.com and let us help you plan to retire well.
Hi, welcome back, folks. Now, listen, in this segment, Dawn, I'd really like to talk about why somebody should have an advisor as they're trying to make this decision on the Medicare supplement insurance. First of all, the most obvious one is really educating people on the pros and cons of going those two different routes, right?
That's right. I think it's really important to sit down and talk about you as a person. What is your lifestyle like? What is your travel plans like? What is your personality like? What are you comfortable with? I think that's really important. And I think it's really important to have somebody who deals with both sides of the Medicare coverage, the Advantage plan and the supplemental side. Because I think you'll see that some people only deal with one or the other. So
Yeah, Dawn, I'm glad you brought that up because, before we had you in-house, we would work with third parties. And, I remember the first one we worked with, they did nothing but the Medigap plans, right? And they did not like any of the Advantage plans. So they were not advising people on those. Matter of fact, I think they called them the Medicare Disadvantage plan.
Right.
And then we worked with another third party, and they of course loved the Advantage plans and didn't want to do the Medigap plans. So they, you though knowing both sides can educate people on both the pros and cons of both sides and let them kind of pick the direction they think is best for them.
That's right. Yeah. And I think that's a really important thing to have a really balanced view, and you're not getting shoved one way or the other just because that's the only thing an insurance agent offers. So I think it's really important to make sure you find somebody who has that balanced view. So
yeah, and honestly, Don, that's really being a good fiduciary. You're trying to act in the client's best interest. You give them all the information you can to help them, allow them to make the best decision that's best for them.
Right.
Now, I understand also that you're independent, right? So you don't you're not proprietarily held to sell any one company's product.
That's right. Yeah, at this point, I've become an agent with over 12 different companies. So I think that's a really good way to, be able to quote and get the best price out there for these different plans. Like we talked about with the Medicare supplements or the Medigap plans, the only thing different about a Plan G is the insurance company that's offering it can offer a different price. So a company that has a really big name can offer a Plan G, but they can put a really big price tag on it because of their name is so well known and respected. They can charge more, where a company with a lesser name will charge much less for the exact same product. And I've become an agent with a lot of those companies, so we can stack up the quote and see which one is the best price for the exact same benefit.
Yeah.
So,
Dawn, I think the other advantage to having an advisor be part of that planning for somebody is that, we do regular reviews, right? So you have the opportunity at least once a year to get before that client, and when it comes time to renew, and see if there's anything better out there.
yeah,
If one insurance company maybe isn't charging a lower price than the one they have, and
yeah.
seeing if their circumstances have changed, right? Maybe they did start off with a Medigap route, but maybe they're best suited now to be in an Advantage plan for one reason or another.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I do these annual reviews with people, and it's amazing how much money, it's the part of my job that I really love. It feels like there's just winning happening when you sit down with somebody and you realize they've had the same Medigap plan for 5 years. There's been instances where I've helped a couple save over $200 a month because they had a plan that they just never had anybody check up on in the past. We checked up on it, saw that there was a company that was offering a much lower price, and we were able to switch them into the exact same benefit, but we ended up saving them over $200 a month. And that was a good day.
Right,
So,
right. Well, Dawn, I want to thank you for being on the show today. You're right smack in that busy time yourself with this enrollment period, but I thought it'd be very timely to get this out to people to let them know that they have a resource they can go to. This
absolutely.
can be very confusing to people, and they really love it when you sit down with them and actually explain the pros and cons of these various things for them and help them really kind of wade through what is just an awful lot of information being thrown at them. So thank you for being on the show today. And I encourage you folks out there, if you're somebody that's, needing some of that advice, give us a call here at Centennial Wealth. We'll direct you to Dawn and let you sit down with her and go through that. It's no cost to you. It's free. There's no obligation. We just want to be of help. And it's a big part of everybody's retirement planning, making sure that we close these gaps or cover these gaps. So again, thank you. We'll see you next week.